Hello and welcome everybody, LordGosun here, and basically I'm going to show you some early on tips. Now the first thing you want to do when you first start, I'm just looking through my inventory right now, don't mind me. This is a pre-recording with my voice over it. So basically the first thing, once you start the game and take that first quest, you want to get stone and wood as quick as possible. Make excuse me, make two axes, two stone axes. Now the reason why you're gonna make two stone axes is because I'm gonna give you a tip to start you off quick with understanding how to harvest faster, and also how to tame stuff from the start. Now, second thing you're gonna want to do after creating both of those stone axes is try to find this natural essence and try to collect at least five of them. At least five of them, because your main quest, your starter quest, is gonna need you to get one of these things. So that's a little bonus tip. Now, I am gonna let you know that I am playing solo. I am showing you all of this in solo, and that's why I'm such a high level. That is also why I'm so OP, and that is also why my harvest is so OP, and the XP is way more than what you would get on official or just playing with the regular stats in the game. Now that I got out the way, the third thing you're gonna want to do once you get the natural essence, you're gonna equip natural essence in your spell book. You're gonna equip the natural essence, and then you're gonna click the last one to the right. So that's the bottom one that looks like a gear. You're gonna click on that one, utility. You're gonna put it on whichever side you want to put it on, and now you have a new formation of farming and basically harvesting. It makes it a lot more easier. It makes it a lot more simple. Now, moving on to the next tip. I gotta see where I'm going with this, because even though I just recorded the video, um, basically going through, basically I'm putting on a regular spell. This is basically a protection spell. You're going to want to do this with your axe. So those are the two things you're going to want on your first axe. It's going to be a harvesting spell and at least an attack spell to protect yourself while you're out there. Now the game is not too hard in the beginning, in the starter zone, but it is a little rough if you don't know what you're doing. That's why I'm trying to start people off with the best possible start that they could possibly have. So the first thing you wanna do is make two stone axes. Second thing you're gonna wanna do is go find that that nature essence, the natural nature essence. Once you find the natural nature essence, put it on your axe for harvesting. So once you have harvesting on your axe, equip your weapon with attack spell. That way you're able to protect yourself while you're harvesting and trying to understand everything in the game. Now, the fourth thing I want you to do is to kill as much stuff as possible, because I am looking for a particular spell that I believe it, well, from the start you can only obtain this by finding it on a corpse, on something that you have killed. So that's why I'm just flying around trying to find something to kill, to look for this specific essence that I'm trying to get. The specific essence is called light essence, because with light essence I will be able to put the taming spell on the other axe. That's exactly why I told you to make two axes, because one of your axes is going to be for your harvesting protection axe, and then your second axe could be your taming axe. Now you don't need to do this from the jump, you don't need to do this from the start, you don't need to start taming stuff from the start. But if it's something that you would like to do, I'm just giving people the opportunity of understanding how it all works, and basically how to do it as quick as possible. Here I found a couple of pigs, and finally I found a light essence on one of the pigs. You're more than likely to get a light essence from one of the little fairies. I believe they're called spirits, and they're a little tough even in the beginning. Like, even at low levels, they're a little tough, so be careful when you fight in a spirit. But if you don't want to fight a spirit, just try to find like a pig or something that you can beat and get the light essence. Once you get the light essence, same thing with the axe. You're gonna go to your spell book. You're gonna equip the last one, you utility or unity, I believe that is. You're gonna put it on whichever side you choose to put it on, and that is your taming spell. Now I chose to put the area effect. Wait, was it the area effect? Yes, I believe it is. Let me see. No, alright, I thought that was the area effect, but it wasn't the area effect. That spell right there is like a dash. Like you're kinda like doing a speed hook, kinda like, cause he's like thrusting with his fist. So it's kinda like you're just rushing towards somebody with your fist and punching them at excessive speed. It does a good amount of damage early on in the game, so I would advise people to use this skill in the beginning, in the starting stage, because it does do a good amount of damage. Now, with the other side, I am using the Tame. Now, mind you, another thing that you're gonna have to take note of, that I'm able to do all this so easily because, like I said, I have boosted stats on my single player. Now you see I have tamed them. Now you have to name them. Another thing to be mindful of, try to name your pet as quick as possible, because I believe there's like a 20, probably less, probably like a 15 to 25 seconds of time that you have in order for you to tame your pig, because I mean your whatever it is that you're trying to tame, because if you don't, then they're immediately going to go back into being aggroed, and their meter. There's another thing, did you notice the meter that was going up while I was taming it? I'm gonna tame something later on in this video, but there's a blue meter around the wild animal when you're trying to tame it. That blue meter is what you have to be mindful of. Now, from my speculations, I believe when the animal is at a lower health, then it is easier to tame it. So never try to tame anything at max health. You want to at least dumb down the health. That way the taming process will go a lot more quicker and a lot more sufficient, I'm guessing. Now, what I'm basically doing here is showing you how to go through the settings of your tame. Now you can put it on passive, you can put it on follow, you can put it on stay. The last one on the bottom is basically dismiss your tame, and you're gonna let him roam free. I believe the moment you dismiss your tame is the moment that he's just gonna run wild and act as if he was never tamed to start with. As far as the taming process, once you untame it, I do not understand how that works, because I haven't really paid attention to it enough to notice if there is a difference. But going back to what I originally was saying, is that when you untame something, I believe the bar is still high. I mean, if you don't tame something while you're naming it, and say they just start running wild and you have to go through the process of taming something again, then I believe the bar is still up, so it won't take that long to tame it back again. But you just don't want that to happen, because if you're taming something with a high level, it might one-shot you and kill you. So just try to name it as quick as possible. Here I noticed in this area, because I usually start in the middle no matter where I start, because I'm on official, I have my own server, and also I'm playing solo. So I usually start in the middle. I'm showing you that on this side of the map, in this specific area, there is salt. You want to look out for salt, because the only way you can cook majority of foods, if not every food is with salt, and you need salt. Salt is a hard thing to find if you cannot find the ocean, even though the ocean is right behind you. But when I started the game, I just wanted to go north, and I didn't even think to go behind me for the ocean. But just so you know, salt is a very important thing if you're trying to make food, and as much food as possible. And another thing to be mindful of, you're gonna want to make food and put it in your tame, that way you have a longer time span. Right here, what I'm showing you, I left my pig all the way over there, and this is a little unique tip you should know. If you hit follow, even though you're far away from your tame, it will automatically spawn near you and be there the minute you hit follow. Not the minute you hit follow, but you know, a couple of seconds after that. Now over here, the reason why I came to these islands back once again, I was gonna do a whole bunch of like words and stuff in this video, but that would have took so long. So I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna put my voice on it and talk to the people. Hopefully the people can understand what I'm saying, and they get what I'm saying when I'm saying it while they're watching what I'm saying. But anyways, getting back to it, I'm just showing you the 3-point starting points of the map. I'm starting here. If you start here and you go exactly to this big lake with these 3 islands, this is a good place to get resources as far as iron, which I'm going to show you right now. You can get iron from the start, and around, to be honest, around the whole coast of this lake is iron rocks. So this lake, period, whether you're in the middle of the island right here or at the coast of the lake from the beginning, you're gonna find iron. But the reason why I came to this island specifically was to show you how much iron is located in this middle island and what exactly is at the last island. So now I'm gonna fly to the middle island, and as you can see, there's a good amount of iron just sitting right back here. Now here is one of the spirits that I was telling you about. Even at a low level, whether you think you're tough or not, these things grouped up as a group, they will slaughter you. And if you don't have the right gear or the right amount of magical power, then you're not gonna outpower these things. I'm not gonna sit here and say that they're OP, that you can't kill them, but just expect to take damage while fighting them, because they do deal damage. Now we have a good amount of iron on that middle island, but the last thing I wanted to show people was that you can obtain precious stone from the start, and it's not that far off from the starter zone. There's 3 stones on this island specifically. Um, there's 3 stones of precious stone. Now the reason why I'm getting so much resources, so much different resources, is because my stats are set to high. Normally if it was on regular or official server, I would most likely be getting 1 precious stone, 1 precious stone, 1 precious stone. I'll probably get a random iron here and there, but you're not gonna get 4, and you're not gonna get that much gold that I'm getting from this specific run of harvesting. So don't expect to get exactly what you see here. Please remember, I am playing on higher stats. This is not the stats that you will have on official. Also, my flying is a little bit higher, so that's why I'm flying pretty fast. Don't expect the flying to be this fast. But if you like, you can look up a server called Grand Wizards of Citadel, and the flying speed there is zero point 0.2, well 2.0, and it's pretty fast. It's basically the same as this one, but the only reason why I'm going ultra fast is because I have a legendary broomstick. Now over here I'm taking you to the last resource, which is gold. I was originally supposed to go to, this is funny because while I was recording this and like going through the process of thinking about this, because like I said, I was gonna use a bunch of words. I was gonna use, like, you know what I mean, like in the beginning what I was doing, but I decided to just put my voice over it because I I didn't want to go through the editing process of putting a whole bunch of dialogue on the screen, so I chose to just put the audio instead of the dialogue. So here I am talking to you about what I didn't do, but I'm still doing it in a better version. But anyways, back to the story. Originally, I was gonna go to a gold spot that I know about, but it turns out the gold spot that I knew about was on the west side of the map. Cause that river, where I'm following that river, there's like a V-shaped river when you looked at the map. Well, when I looked at the map, uh, on the opposite side of the map, which is the west side of the map, there's a camp with some gold there. So I came all the way to this camp thinking it was on this side of the map, which is the east side of the map. Now you're gonna see me looking around for a bit, and I'm trying to find the gold. But it's funny because in the process of going to the other side of the map, I found a spot with even more gold than the spot I was originally going to show everybody. So here we go, me looking around for the gold. I'm still wondering where exactly is the gold, not realizing that I went to the wrong side of the map. So I said, you know what, I'm going to decide to go to the other map. In the process of going to the other map, I'm showing you where exactly I was supposed to go. But in the process, I found gold right here. So I'm going to show you exactly where this gold is at. And this is not too far off the starter zone, but you got to be careful because I believe, even though the area says, you got to remember the area says 1 to 30. So that means a creature could be level 1 or a creature could be level 30. Now, I'm guessing the more up you go in the region, the higher the levels may be. But don't be surprised if you see a level 22 or a level 30 in the starting area, like as soon as you come out the safe zone. Don't be surprised because there is high level stuff that just so happens to spawn in the starting area. Now, you want to be geared up and you want to be set correctly. So just make sure you got a pig, or at least have a pig with you or something that's going to protect you. And don't stress about tames. They're easy. They're easy to come by and they're easy to get if you know what you're doing. In my next video, I'm going to show people how to tame a dragon. I'm not sure how to tame every dragon, but I'm going to show you how to tame the dragon that I know how to tame. And I'm also probably going to go a little bit more depth as far as spells. And I'm going to show off some armor and what exactly you're going to need to obtain this armor. I'm going to show a little bit of farming process, because I know the farming process is different. This MMO is quite different from others, but still very similar. But the way they chose to do things, and being that it's magic versus just actual objects and automatic weapons and stuff like that, it's a little bit different the way everything functions. Another thing to remember, you can change a spell. So that means if you already equipped a spell onto your weapon or your harvesting tool, you can just choose an entire different spell and put it over whatever spell you want to basically get rid of. So basically you can recycle spells and you can replace spells. So don't go crazy thinking if I make this spell for this, I can't make this. If you want to swap it out for a different spell and you really like that weapon to the point where you rather have electric spell on it versus an earth spell or something like that, you're more than free to do that. You don't have to make a whole nother weapon to go through the process of, you know what I mean, like making a specific spell on that weapon. So the only reason why I made 2 stone axes from the beginning is because I want one for protecting and harvesting, and I want one for taming and protecting as well. If I had harvesting and taming on the same axe, I won't have an axe to protect me. I will have to swap out my axe to protect me. Now once I tamed the wolf, I was just taming the wolf just for the kicks, just to tame it. Honestly, I wasn't gonna do nothing with it. I just wanted to show people that the process of taming something with a higher level takes longer than it did for that pig, as you can see. And even with his energy kind of down, I still took a while to tame that wolf. Here I'm showing you the teleport towers, and the reason why I chose to run up the teleport tower is because this is what you're gonna have to do if you don't have any type of thing to fly with. And the reason why I jumped back down was to explain that sometimes there's gonna be people inside of these towers that give you quests, so be mindful to look for people in the middle of the tower and see if anybody's there to give you a quest. Now this fast travel thing is a crystal originally. You activate it, and then once you activate it, you have the right to fast travel to any other tower that you have activated as well. And I can't fast travel there because I kind of built like a main starter house there. Like I said again, I'm using a bit of some coding in my game. You know, I solo play. I put a little bit of buffs and cheats in my solo play, but I'm not playing ultra beast mode, but I'm playing to the point where I could process through the game and see what the game has to offer a little bit faster in solo player. Like I said, I am on official. I do have my own server on top of being on official, so I think I have the right to have a solo player with a little bit of buffs on it. Now this is basically some starter home I just started to start crafting and doing stuff. And once you play in solo mode and you see what type of what type of modding you could put towards the game, you're gonna understand what exactly I have here. And it just makes the game go a little bit more sufficient and makes me process the game a little bit more quicker. So that way when I'm not playing on official, I get to jump into solo and learn something a little bit more faster than I probably would learn it on official. Now, right now, I've told my fox to follow me, and my wolf, I mean, told both of them to come follow me, and as you can see, my wolf popped up, and my pig is somewhere around here, I'm not sure. But basically the way to equip the saddle is put the saddle in the inventory of the Tame, and then you click on it with the, like as if you're gonna put it in passive or attack, and you just go down to the middle slot and you pick that riding Tame. I mean that riding logo. And once you're on your Tame has two attacks. You have a L2 trigger and a R2 trigger to attack, or LB, RB, whatever it is for Xbox. And you cannot use your wand or any type of magic on top of the Tame. The only thing that can attack, the only way you can attack is by your Tame. So your Tame is your weapon once you get on your Tame. You cannot use a spell on it. You cannot swing a sword while you're on your Tame. Possibly in the future. This is a little camp. Another thing to be reminded by, if you see camps and you kill something there, be sure to look for a treasure. Sometimes they're already open, but it's alright.
Hate to see you leave, but remember, get your game on. Peace.
See you in the next
Also
one.
like,
And I'm
comment,
gone.
subscribe,
Hope you
and
enjoyed
have a
this tip
chance at
video,
winning a
and I hope it
PSN
helped you
card.
out.